can't stop. A family shop. Think Thayer. Come on, let's get rolling. Come on, let's get moving. Think Thayer.
Good afternoon. Thank everybody for coming out on this beautiful day. We're excited about Tuesday's performance. We were able to play our most complete game at home in front of our home crowd. They deserve that. So proud of the kids, and can't wait to get back out there.
Is there a different feeling around here right now?
Yeah, people are smiling a little bit. It's been a long year. It's kind of unique to have your administrative office connected to your football office. And when you pass by in the hallways, nobody wants to look you in the eye a little bit, and they want to keep walking by. But no, everybody's been great. They've been supportive, and it's just nice to see them with a smile on their face and proud of the university and the kids.
How important is it for a program to, after the start of the year, but if you can reel off these?
Finish the right way? Yeah, it's big. It's big. It's something that we needed to happen, and we've got to continue to work over the next 9-10 days or so and make sure we're prepared to play an improving Buffalo football team.
And what's the biggest thing that you've kind of learned about your team in the past couple of games?
Resiliency, and they're playing more confident. We've really over the last couple of games been pretty beat up, and that's probably one of the benefits of playing some of those young kids as early as we did. You've seen them, develop. Football's football. I was a Kent State team that, they're 3-7, 3-8 like we are. But if you go back and you think we played in some close games this year, they've really been in it. They beat a Central Michigan team that beat Oklahoma State. I really felt like we played really well on all three phases, and the kids need to, we need to feel good about it.
With the extra couple of days here playing on a Friday, what kind of schedule have you put together to prep for?
Well, recruit, man. Right now, that was my meeting and the message yesterday. The season, hate to say it this way, but it is what it is, and we put ourselves in that situation. We have nobody to blame but ourselves, and as a staff, we'll go back and we'll self-evaluate and do all those type of things in the middle of December. But right now, it's full steam ahead, and it's hit the road and get on that recruiting trail, not only to hold on to the 17 class, but to continue to build on it and fill it out.
So did you give the guys a couple days off then?
The players, absolutely. They'll be back in today for really today's meeting is just kind of a quick team meeting. You've got to give them one day, and they'll probably get an additional day to kind of rest their legs a little bit, and we need it from a health standpoint. They'll come in and they'll do body by Yates with our strength coach, but they won't do any football per se related activities. Coaches, they got to grind. We'll grind until Christmas, and then we'll give them a couple days off.
Have you had much of a chance to look at Buffalo?
A little bit. I mean, today, this morning, got about an hour or so in. They've got a young freshman quarterback that you see that definitely has a chance to be a good player in this league. He's a big kid. He flashes, makes some big throws, kind of like our kid a little bit. And then, kind of the thing that really jumped out at me, went and watched them in Akron a little bit, and the old running back's a good ball player. He's a big kid, tough to tackle. So we'll have to bring our hard hat to the ball game. And, defensively, they've had their ups and downs. We'll just have to continue to look at film and see how we want to attack them.
With recruiting-wise,
Yes, sir.
with seeing what you guys have done the last two games, kind of straying away from what we saw most of the season, what do you tell the recruits?
Well, let's take last night's game, for instance. If I had a couple kids that I think that are 6'4", 6'5" receivers that can make plays, there were a few deep balls that we put up last night that we ran for 400-something yards. The kid threw for 177. You catch those two passes, it's a 700-yard day. And you've scored 60 points, and those are the kind of offenses that you want to be a part of. So no matter what we choose to do, the message is that we can be explosive as anybody in the country. You know, moving forward, I do believe in running the football, and that will be a part of our identity. You know, we 40 times a night to sling the ball is way more than enough. That's more than enough balls for everybody to get their fair share of catches. So that won't be too hard of a sell. Especially, all you got to do is turn on a clip and watch this guy make every throw. And the more so than how pretty it looks this, that, or the other is having a trigger man that they see that can get me the ball.
And to kind of follow up on what Thomas is asking, the identity over the last few games has
Right.
been to run.
Right.
Obviously, you've had success doing that, so you would expect that for a Buffalo game to end this season, you're going to do that. Looking ahead in the future, the talk has been air raid and Texas Tech and things like that. Is that when you're talking to the recruits, is that where, when they say, well, what are you running?
Right.
Is that the answer?
The answer that I'll give them, we're still running an up-tempo system, an up-tempo scheme. Now, what you're asking, will we continue to be under center and things of that nature? We absolutely will. The kid does a good job with his play-action passes, and it brings an element that I think that would be beneficial, especially in this conference. So we'll continue to build on that and maybe pare down some of the menus of our empty passing game. So basically, and you guys have figured out, everybody wants to know, to where, you'll still see us in 2 wide doubles, you'll still see us in 3-by-1, maybe a lot less empty with no back, and more of a 2-back set. It's probably where you see the transition make place. It's not a secret. I'm not going to sit there and try to hide or lie about anything. They'll get the video, they'll figure it out. But that's kind of where my mind is right now, just looking at our personnel and who we are.
And that was the magic word, because as you began the discussion, you brought in the quarterback. It's more personnel driven
No
than,
doubt. Yeah.
this is what I want to do, and I'm going to shove
Yeah.
square pegs into round holes.
Right.
to
That's
make it
not.
happen.
And we've got a ball game to finish up, but I'm sure we'll have a long, lengthy conversation about what my thoughts on the year, and I'll get into that at detail and the things that were learned, and and the mistakes that were made. But you're absolutely right. As a coach, you've got to be able to evaluate, and you've got to put your student athletes in the best possible situation to be successful, and that's what we're attempting to do, and that's what we're going to do.
Seems like we're always talking about offense, Coach, and it's been kind of the theme the last several years, certainly before you got here, that Bowling Green State University's had a very successful offense. Talk a little bit about the role of the defense in success moving forward. You mentioned
we will play good defense.
Really young next year too, so.
We will play good defense, period. That's I wouldn't be here today unless that was my MO. You're not going to win championships, in my humble opinion, without playing on a consistent basis, without playing good defense. I think we were able to win one last year with just you had phenomenal. It was a special group of kids, a special time. But the one we won in 13, I think we ran around and we hit people a little bit, right? And I know that's how you do it, and that's what we will build here. We will be young again, but they're playing faster. They're playing faster, and they're playing with more confidence. And as those safeties continue to grow, 13 and 31, and get better, it allows you to expand your defensive playbook and do a few more things. So proud of the way they played. I really felt like we had an opportunity to have a really special night defensively, and we've got to fix some things again. And we're being a little bit too conservative at times on the back end because we have to. In a situation like that, when we've got a team pegged and having a good idea of what they're doing, for lack of a better word, you got to put them away. And I felt like 245 yards, fourth string quarterback is too much. Period. I know we only gave up 7 points. That really doesn't matter to me. We have the talent back there. We just got to get them coached up. And
Interested in your opinion too, Coach, about these games coming up, not only ours against Buffalo, but obviously some big games in the game they're going to be up at Kalamazoo, and after what Toledo did last night, that could turn into a real showcase game as well between UT and Western Michigan. Talk about what those kind of games mean tonight.
well, it's huge. It's huge, you know, and you know, when you turn on ESPN every night and you hear them talk about Western Michigan, that's great for our conference, you know, and you know, Toledo playing BYU and Central Michigan going and beating Oklahoma State. You know, our brand is out there and it is well respected, and I think it's awesome. And it is, you know, it gives guys like myself hope. And when you see PJ go in there and he takes a team that 2-10, 1-11, whatever they were, and you know, sold a vision. I had an idea of what he wanted his football team to look like, what he wanted his program to be, and 3 years later, lo and behold, they're 10-0, just a chance to go to Cotton Bowl. So, you know, you got to have a vision, you got to have a belief, and you got to get your kids to buy into it. So, excited for him, excited for our conference, and it'll be a heck of an atmosphere.
Helps you on the career trail too, I'm assuming.
No doubt. I mean, as a conference as a whole, just you know, the biggest thing that helps are these matching games, guys. I mean, I'm telling you, after the ball games, all these kids are just blowing your Twitter up, saying, "Hey, Coach, saw you, love your uniforms, love this, love that," and you know, being on a national stage on, like I said, on a Tuesday, Wednesday night was genius. Everybody loves football, man, and we're the only game on, so it's huge. I've enjoyed being a part of it, and look forward to it moving forward.
We've talked about your offense and a little bit about your defense, and we've kind of, outside of talking about Jody, we haven't talked much about your special teams.
Right.
They've been generally strong, especially the last month or so, haven't they?
Yes, they played well over. Again, the last 8 quarters or so, we've played pretty good football, and really that's what you know. We're talking about penalties, we're talking about special team errors, all those things. That's the kind of football team that we want to be, and that we're striving to be. We've still got some growth to do there as well, and especially in the return game. And it's just finding a guy. I was proud of the little Zimmering kid, you know, of getting back there. And the biggest thing, I'm not looking for the big explosive play on punt returns. Just catch the ball, and let's not give away all those hidden yards. He let one get away from him. They lost in the lines a little bit. But for the most part, he was aggressive. He went and got the ball. And again, Joe's been special and done a great job all year. You know, we put a lot of emphasis on special teams. Coach Brock, I think, has done a good job as anybody in our conference this year of having our kids prepared. Our kickoff coverages have been solid. You know, there was a lot of talk earlier in the year about our kicking situation. You know, I've been pleasantly pleased with. They hadn't beat us. You know, they hadn't been the cause of any of our defeats this year. So we'll only get better. So again, yeah, proud of the job they've done.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Jake in particular. I mean, that's a kid that maybe you've done some things differently to not lean totally heavily on him.
Right.
The stuff you've called on him to do.
Right, he's right. We know his limitations. We, you know, and you know, last week, game-winning field goal. You know, coach says get him on the left hash, he'll make it. We put the ball on the left hash, he knocks it through. That's all I can ask. You know, and then, you know, and not, you know, again, it goes back to coaching. You know, the NIU game, we look at it, and I know I'm putting the kid out there at the, you know, at the very edge of his limits. We get one blocked. You know, so as coaches, you got to be smarter. But you know, we'll learn.
And which side of the ball have you kind of seen the most improvement from this year?
What's that?
Which side of the ball have you seen the most improvement from this year?
The most improvement?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't. That's a good question. Probably the most improvement would probably have to go to the defensive line. I mean, just over the last few weeks, 3 or 4 ball games, the ability to pressure the quarterback and stop the run, and they're making it tough out there. So they're playing up to a level in which I expected them to play. at the beginning of the year. But you can turn on that video and you watch it. They're creating havoc. So, and again, a lot of them are back. So fired up about it.
Final time a lot of these guys will play here at the Doyle. Have they said anything to you about?
No, we won't. I mean, we coming into the last 4 games of the year, we came, Trent kind of came up with, we got 360 minutes at play or whatever it was, and that's just kind of the way we've been going about our business. We've got 60 minutes to play, and then when it's all said and done, we'll take the time and, say our goodbyes and things of that nature. But we got ball game left to play, and I'm excited to watch those guys continue to improve and continue to fly around.
A word about that senior class, though. I mean, a lot of times, if a team's going well, you give seniors credit for that kind of thing. But I know several times you've given these seniors credit when this thing had a chance to really go off the rails for.
There's no doubt, absolutely.
Keeping the group together.
Mm-hmm. They did a great job of keeping the group together, and it wasn't easy. I mean, you guys get it. You know that when you go through these type of seasons, people get frustrated. We're talking about 18 to 22-year-old kids that, in this me generation, and all want this instant gratification. There are a lot of egos, and those guys did a great job of, taking care of things in the locker room, to where, I didn't have to deal with too much stuff, other than go out and try to continue to help us, improve. So, they deserve a ton of credit. We're not, we're playing decent football right now. And my hat's off to them, because it wasn't an easy journey.
See, you stole my question. We've not been in a locker room. How hard is that, especially for a senior, to not let it go off the rails?
It's tough. I mean, you're talking about guys that have been to 3 straight championship games. It was. I'm not going to speak for any of them, but I could see the frustration on their face. I could see the hurt in their eyes, and looking for someone to give them answers on why it's going that way. It was an unfortunate deal for them. But at the end of the day, this is the 16 football team, and I've got to stand up here and I got to take responsibility for it. And I guarantee you, any one of those seniors or juniors or anybody else on a football team that you stand in front of here, they'll take personal ownership of it, and that's how you get better. And that's the environment that we're hoping to have around here.